Okay, let me unmute all of this stuff. Okay, I think we're live. I've got horrible lighting in this room. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to fix. I have to fix that lighting a little bit. But cool. Welcome everybody to the live stream where basically I just wanted to do like a weekly live session where I just go over all of the stats. So I'm knocking stuff all around, but I just go over all of the stats of the week. So just keeping everybody updated, what's happening week to week on a journey to go from a 24 handicap to scratch in just 365 days in just 1 year, because it is an insane challenge and it's requiring an insane amount of effort. And I think it's hard to get across the amount of work we're putting in the daily videos. So if you're new to this channel, if you've just stumbled across this live session, it's basically that I'm on a journey right now going from a 24 handicap to scratch golfer, which is a golfer with a handicap of 0 in just 1 year. And I'm training every single day. But before, for me, training was just going down and hitting the range, right? When you say someone's training golf, it's just like they're going down to the range and they're doing a couple of different drills. But recently, what's been happening is I'm currently on day 152 of the challenge. So I've got 200 days left. The handicap has come down quite substantially today compared to the last video you will have seen, which I will dive into later in this video. But yeah, let me also, if the sound is not working, if I'm just talking to myself, let me know in the chat if anybody's watching. That would be fantastic. It'd be great to know if the sound's working. But yeah, so before, for me, training was just, hitting the range for the first like 20, 30 days. It was just, can I brute force my way to scratch? It was just smashing balls at the range all day, every day. Well, not all day, but like as long as I could, right? And then I quickly ran into issues, and those issues being like with the body and with the mind. So I ran into injuries. My back was killing me, and I couldn't just run to the range every day and just hit balls. So the training regimes at the moment, we're training multiple different things, right? We're training on the course, obviously. We're going each day and we're doing chipping, putting, and range practice. That's a given. But what we're also doing is we're training our mental game. We have a mental coach from Mental Golf Type to coach me through the mental and sports psychology aspect of the game, which is very, very, very important. We can dive into that later if you want. Then also training the body and nutrition. So I've got a training plan in the gym specifically designed for gym, right? So for golf, right? So what does that mean by a training plan specifically for golf in the gym? Basically, what that means is that I'm doing isolated exercises. So I'm doing exercises that target as few muscles as possible at one moment. So if you do like, a chest press or a deadlift, that's a very compound exercise that works loads of muscles at the same time. And the reason why we're not doing that in this challenge is because the risk of it is injury. Hey, Abby, thanks. I'm actually going to show that birdie today in a minute. I've got some videos loaded up, which I'm going to go through. And today, yeah, I had an absolutely fantastic birdie. Like it felt so good. I smashed the drive, snapped the tee as well, which I rarely do, plastic tee. But yeah, it's fantastic. So let's dive into the recap of the round a little bit, or of the week, really. So over the past 7 days, we've had a little bit of a quieter one over this weekend. We just managed to sneak in a tiny bit of training. That was because it was my wife's birthday. So all attention was on her, all attention as it should be. I'm just trying to give her the best possible weekend ever. But back down to the golf. Let me tell you, I've got 2 rounds in particular, 2 9-hole rounds, because haven't managed in the last 7 days to get out for 18. But 2 9-hole rounds, which were absolutely fantastic. So we've got one. Let me have a look. Here we go. Let's go to activity. So 9 holes at Infinitum Lakes course. Now, obviously, it's got lakes in the name, so as you can probably tell, there's a lot of water on this course. So it's not exactly the easiest course in the world, but in my opinion, it's easier than my home course, which is Costa del Rada. But here we got par, 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 triple bogey because I saw my score and completely lost my head and freaked out. Then we got another par. Then we got a birdie, which was a nice compensation. And then we got a par, and then we got a bogey. So we ended that 3 over. Now, that didn't actually affect my handicap, which I was completely shocked by, until I handed in 9 holes today, which today was like an okay round. It wasn't great, but I think the way the handicap's calculating is it like takes 2 nines is 18 maybe. Because when I input this score today, I got 43 with a few pars and a birdie. But the issue is we'd had some massive explosions as well, which, yeah, we won't talk about those. But yeah, the explosions were pretty bad. But other than that, like a fairly decent, consistent round, to be honest. So I'll show you a clip from today. But first of all, how far has the handicap come down? So it was at the start of the 7 days. So 7 days ago, we were on a 17.9 handicap. And as it stands right now, we are on a 16.6 handicap. So, that's like basically half a stroke gain. So we're sort of we're climbing there. We're getting there. We're on the way. I'm going to show you some great shots now, which I think are great shots, to be honest. But I'll show you some great shots now, which were from today. And this is the drive. I'm just going to load it up in a second. But this drive for me felt absolutely fantastic. I had some awful drives today, especially after this one because I was feeling so good. I thought I could smash it, but obviously not. But here we go. So let me change the here. Right. Take a look at this. If you're watching live or if you're watching this back, I would love and appreciate your feedback. I feel like my setup position here is good. I feel like maybe I'm aiming a little bit to the right. So I thought that I was aiming kind of center fairway. Now, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but it's like kind of center fairway. It's like sort of a bit left of where the ball is. This is kind of where I was aiming, but it looks like looking back, I'm aiming to the right. So I'll play you the shot now. Oh, I like the sound of that shot. I like the sound of that. So that was my big drive. That was my big drive of the day. That got me really close to the green. And I'll show you this next shot as well, which was a chip. Now, this chip, again, it wasn't like it felt fantastic or it was like anything different. It just felt like I was composed. Like I didn't feel pressure. It's because I've had some great. This is usually a pretty good hole for me, so I didn't feel particularly like loads of the pressure or stress on this. So I was able to just walk up to the ball, compose myself, and hit. Which I'll grab that video up for you now, just so you can kind of see it. But it was, if I open up here. Yeah, it was quite a clean shot, to be honest. Let's have a look. So, load that up here. Here we go. So I have to go over this tree. The flag is basically directly behind this tree. I come under it nicely. I didn't loft the club as much as I wanted to, or as much as I could have, just because I was scared of then thinning it. So it's a 56-degree wedge that I had in hand. I'll play that shot for you again. 56-degree wedge. I knew I just had to go over the top of this, and it was about 60 yards, I think it was, to the pin. Up, over, and the ball actually landed about 1 meter or 2 meters from the pin. And obviously there was a bit of rollout. So that's green and reg right there. And then we'll move on to, I'll show you this video of, I'll show you the video of my putt, right? So this putt for me was basically what I've been working on for a long time now. So if you've seen the last video, and I think I've got another video coming out either tonight or tomorrow with my putting lesson with Alan, where we use the Sam Putting Lab. And what we found is that my the consistency in my putting is really low. So what does that mean? That basically means that I'm not reproducing the same path or the same angle every time I hit. Like on the course, my putting I feel like has been getting better and better, and I have sort of this like deluded level of confidence with my putting. I just feel like everything I hit is going to go in, which I think definitely helps because it relaxes me a lot. But the issue there with when we did the Sam Lab data is that my consistency is really low. Like my impact in my path is sometimes like, close to the professionals, but the real issue is that I'm not making the same swing every time, so it's going to be hard to get a lot better on that. So this week I've been really focused on just these small putts, putting over and over again, trying to really replicate the swing, really replicate the putting path. A message from John: Hey, I've been following your videos as much as I can. Have you how have you been with balance in life? What do you think is the toughest part of this challenge? I think I think genuinely, if I had all of the time in the world, I think it would be a no-brainer whether you could get to scratch or not. I genuinely think if you had nothing but time and you could be playing 8 hours a day and you had all the coaches, which are like mental coach, body coach, yoga coach, training coach, swing coach, putting coach, you had everything and you just dedicating to that, it would be no question that you could make it. Thanks for the question, by the way. But the hardest part, I think, other than the hardest part for me is the balance between life and this, because I'm still working full time. I have a baby, I have the wife, I have everything that's trying to like balance together is super super difficult. Um, I won't dive too much into that, but basically, I try and fit golf in around life, right? So I work remote and I've got kind of flexible hours. So what I do is I'm still working, and I work a lot as well. So I'm working like, 8 to 10, sometimes 12-hour days, because stuff just has to get done, right? I'm in a very good position in my work, and I just I'm relied upon by multiple people, and I just need to get stuff done. But I fit in golf where I can. Now, the hardest part of the challenge, golf wise, for me, is nothing in particular about the mechanics of golf or training. It is the mental side of golf, because if you're a casual golfer and you go to the range once or twice and you play at the weekend throughout the week, right? If you have a bad round, by the time you've played the next round, it's kind of gone from your like memory. Obviously, you remember the round, but the stress and frustration of it has left you. And then when you're playing every day, it's like you're going down to train or you're going down to play 9 holes or 18 holes. And it might have been that you played yesterday evening, now you're playing this morning. It's that you've still got that stress and frustration on your shoulders, and you've got the pressure of the challenge that you're trying to like, progress. And in my mind, I'm trying to progress every single day. Then the hardest part becomes the mental side of the game, because once you lose focus and that stress starts to creep in, it's really hard to play golf. Just play relaxed golf and have the same swings, which is why, specifically around day 70 to 90, this was when I was back in England, I was having a lot of lessons and I was really focused on my swing, because if you'd seen my golf swing before, I had this really shallow backswing where it was like almost like a John Rahm swing, right? But obviously nowhere near as good. It would go really low, not very far, so restricted and come across. And I was getting a lot of comments about how bad the swing was. So I really started to focus on the swing and the mechanics of the swing. And then after loads of lessons, and the swing was improving, it was great. But then I started to obsess over the swing. And this, again, mental side is the hardest part of the challenge for me, because when you're playing this much and trying to improve this fast, you're getting a lot of information from coaches, from followers, from friends, that it's really hard to like process and know which is the good advice, which is the bad advice. Which swing was good on paper, which swing's outcome was good. And it was just, I just couldn't play golf at that point, because I was so obsessed with the swing and how it looked and producing the perfect backswing and the perfect swing, that for some reason I just couldn't make contact with the ball. So that was the mental side has definitely been the hardest part for me, hands down. But that's when I actually got a mental coach, and we've been going through a load of different tactics on what to do on the course based on my personality type to help me stay in that zone. And basically, the zone is we kind of think of this like, it's kind of a fluffy term, right? The zone. How do you know when you're in the zone or not? Is it just when you're playing well, or what? But the zone really can be defined of like how you are like physically. So it's like your heart rate. Is your heart rate low? Your obviously you can't tell this without equipment, but your brain activity, how high is your brain activity? So basically, the more stressed you get, the higher your brain activity is going to rise, and the higher your heart rate is going to rise, and the less you're going to be able to focus on that ball, relax, and reproduce the decent swings. But yeah, so that has definitely been the hardest part of the challenge for me. 100%. I'll show you this putt now, which I was talking about today, because this for me is a super proud putt because it brings together everything. It's direction, distance, and reading the green. Where before reading the green, I was absolutely terrible at. But here I've read this green so well. I'm so happy about it. I'm just gonna pull this up in a few seconds. Yeah, here we go. Right. So I took a long time over this ball. I've been slipping back into bad habits where I'm taking a long time to play golf again. But here, this part, right, I'll play it for you now. Over the ball a lot, but just so focused on where to go and where to hit. And I think the training is really paying off on the putting. I could see that a lot today. Look at the break on that. That's my celebration as well. I'm just absolutely loving it. Like, I'm gonna play that again because that was just such a nice clean putt for me. Although it is a bit grey, the weather conditions were good today. There's not like super high wind or anything like that. It's hard to see in the video how much of a gradient there was on that course, on that green right there. Quite a lot. So yeah, that was an absolutely fantastic putt for me. Like, I really enjoyed that. And I think, to be honest, that is the the update for now. So we are down officially to a 16.6 handicap. I'll give you the stats of my best 9-hole. My best 9-hole round is 3 over, and my average score in the last 20 rounds is 10 over. So that's where we're sitting at right now. I'd say as well, the distance I was getting today was crazy compared to usual and a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, another question is that you said you got a mental coach. Did you get a swing coach as well? What do you think helped your game the most? So I've got a golf coach at Infinitum Golf Club. His name's Alan Livesley. He's an amazing golf coach, and they've got some fantastic equipment there as well. So with Alan, I work on my swing, golf swing, impact, and putting, and it's been doing wonders for me. I thought the more lessons I get, the easier it would become. But like I said a minute ago, with the whole mental game side of things, is that I think it really depends on who you are and how fast you're absorbing the information and how fast you're applying it, right? Because as a beginner golfer, which is essentially what I am or was, maybe I'm intermediate now, but it really depends on how quickly you learn. Because if you're going for a lesson 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and you're being told to make these changes, you're just constantly changing the swing and you're never actually playing golf. You're just in a constant chase of like mechanics change. So I needed to slow that down a little bit. But yeah, so that's my basically swing coach and mechanics coach there. And I got a mental coach. Did I get a swing coach? What do you think helped me the most? So do I think the coaches helped me the most? I would probably say it would be impossible to do this challenge without the coaches, but I wouldn't say that they helped me the most. I think what helped me the most was getting the reps in the repetition, like learning for yourself how to apply those swing changes, how to hit the ball, what's going to happen when you do this, what's going to happen when you do that. So I think, yeah. So I would say the, the range helped me to a certain point, but my range only has mats, and the ranges I was on in England as well only had mats. So you have that issue there of that, like when I was getting out on the range, I was either chunking the hell out of it or thinning it. So I think actually just trying to get out and sneak in quick rounds has probably been the number one thing that helped me. I would say my optimal training session is really just going 20 minutes range, 20 minutes chipping, 20 minutes putting. Even maybe even, you can do it quicker than that. 15 minutes of each, then go and do 9 holes or even 6 holes, depending on how the course of the layout of your course is. But that's definitely um, like the thing that helped me most was actually going out and playing, because it's really hard. And it depends. You might be like completely different to me, but when you're training, whether it's at the range or at the practice green or chipping, it's hard to stay focused, to stay in the zone, hit after hit after hit after hit, and putt after putt after putt after putt. That's why it's really difficult to go and do like an hour-long session of putting, because if you're not fully focused, it's almost like the putts aren't worth it. You can be doing damage to your putting. So I'd say, yeah, definitely going out and doing the 9 holes is 100%, or just even doing 6 holes, as many as you can, is 100% what helped me the most. And I'd highly recommend it, just like going out and training, because for me, it just like it gives a purpose to the things. Like, right, I have to focus on the shot. I have to hit this ball well, because we're playing golf right now. I'm not going to obsess over the score. And if I hit a bad shot, I'm not going to get angry over it. I'm going to analyze it. I'm just going to, I'm going to rate it, which is another tip from the mental golf coach. It's never be like angry at the swing and just say like, oh, that was terrible. F this shot. Like that, and get mad. It's just think about the shot in your head. Say one thing that went right. Give it a rating. So that was 3 out of 10. I give it a 3 because, it went here. It didn't actually go in the water. It just went onto the rights and the other fairway, whatever. Think about what went wrong, and then say one thing good about it, and then move on. How often am I having lessons? So I'm having lessons at the moment about once a week, but I would say statistically it's probably about 0.75, because there is a week or two that I go without a lesson. Just because of the availability of my golf coach at the moment, he's like super busy. He actually had a baby at the exact time of mine. We're really like close friends, and so he's a very busy guy as well. But I think I'm in a sweet spot right now of one lesson a week where I can actually really go away and apply what was learned. And it's not like I'm focusing on just one thing on the lesson, because it's just like so consistent, the lessons. I can go there and get multiple tips, multiple things to work on from one lesson, which I can take to the range. Because a lot of the time, a coach is going to tell you what's wrong and how to fix it. But just knowing what's wrong and how to fix it isn't going to fix it. You actually need to go and put the reps in, right? So having those like workouts that you have to go and do, or those tools that you need to go and like practice with, like alignment sticks or the putting mirror, which is what I'm working with now, and just getting the reps in, rep after rep after rep, and seeing how it is. Because I used this Sam Lab putting analysis tool the other day, and it gave me horrendous consistency score. But I'm practicing most days now putting with the mirror, and then we're gonna go back in like 3 weeks' time and see how that's affected me. What do I think what part of the game do I think is my best and worst? Oh, you see, this really does change for me week to week, because once I identify something as my worst, it then gets a heavy focus in the training, right? And then so it sort of like goes back and forward, back and forward. Right now, I would say, as of in the last 7 days, I think genuinely the worst thing about my game is the low irons. So like 5 and 6 irons. I've just got this horrendous slice with these clubs for some reason. So there is Javi, I think, is watching now as well. We've got like a running joke on some of the holes that we play at the course. It's just like, don't take a driver, because one of the holes is literally tilted like this. So if you have like a draw, you're even if it lands in the middle of the fairway, if you have a fade, sorry, if it lands in the middle of the fairway, it's just gonna roll out of bounds, well, not out of bounds, but like into the forest. So it'd take iron there, but my irons are just so much worse. My driver seems to be in a fantastic place right now. I would say maybe because it feels so good that I'm hitting drives really far, and I never used to be able to. But I'd say the driving is probably my number one thing right now. Second, I would still say is the putting, just based on like the putts that we've had like today and the last couple of days and how I've been working on it. I think my putting's pretty strong. My short game's always been pretty strong. But yeah, so the worst is the low irons and like those like sort of like 160 to 200 yard approach shots. Pretty bad. Congrats on the child. Thanks, man. 2 lessons a month. That's good. That is good. I think that's a great level, a great amount of lessons to have, and trying to focus on improving my swing, being able to hit the ball consistently. Yeah, that's a great place to be at, and I think as well. Don't obsess over the actual swing itself. Just get into a rhythm of that. Like you have your time to practice the swing mechanics, and then you have your time to practice playing golf. You have your time to practice how it feels to hit the ball, regardless of how the swing is, regardless of what the outcome is. You have, 5 shots at the range, which are really focused on that swing change that you're trying to make. And then you do 5 shots, which are all about feeling, just walking up to it. And that's definitely something that's helped me a lot. Patty B, how you doing, man? If you could redo the first 150 days again, what would you change, or would you change anything? Yeah, definitely. I think the first couple days, I went. Well, I would say like the first 30 days, I just went way too hard at the range, hitting balls without a purpose. I would definitely undo that. I would lower the amount of balls I hit at the range and have much more like dedicated plans of what to do during each session, even if it means I train less, right? So let's just say you got an hour to play golf. I think you'd be much better off planning for 10 minutes and then training for 50 than you would for just going down to 60, because we all have like a loose plan in our head, like, hey, I'm going to go do this and this. But if it's not like properly planned, at least for me anyway, I'm not going to stick to that plan. I sort of like, yeah, hit a few more balls at the range. Well, that was feeling good today. I'm going to hit a few more 6 irons. And it's like you kind of go off track really easily. So I would change that. And then I would change. I would change the way I trained in the gym, because I was kind of training like an idiot. I was just trying to like lift as heavy as possible to put on as much muscle and weight as possible to then go and hit the ball further, and I ended up getting injury, and that knocked like 2 weeks off the challenge. So yeah, those are the two things I would definitely change. So what's the lowest round you've ever shot? The lowest round I've ever shot was 89, and that was at Orchard Lee. And that again, like if you watch some of the long videos on my channel, right? So like some of the full length, like 1 hour long, 18-hole videos, there's a theme, right? I start terribly, like triple bogey, quad bogey, and then I ended up and then I ended up getting much better in the midsection and then much worse at the end. So what happened on that 89 round, right, was that I shot a quad bogey, a triple, then a double, and then I got like 4 pars in a row, then 2 birdies, and it just brought the score down like massively. So I'm like, what if I'd have just calmed down at the start, wasn't sprinting to T1, and was able to do just a bogey? Like the score would have been so much lower. But I guess it's all hindsight, right? Like it's so easy to look back, but there's two things I think as well that are negatively affecting my handicap right now, and that is nothing to do with like how much I train or like how good I am at golf. One is the camera and the content. Like it is so much harder to perform with the camera there and trying to make like, because I'm going to train and I have to like like this challenge really isn't just getting to golf, it's also growing a YouTube channel and a community at the same time. So it's like that takes up a tremendous amount of time and mental energy, right? So when I'm on the tee box, I've put the camera. If I don't have a cameraman like Pat with me, um it's a lot of mental energy, right? It's like set up the camera, put the camera behind you, set it up. You're over the top of the ball, and I'm thinking like, am I actually in frame? Is the sound on? Did I press record? And it takes my mind away from golf. And then the same thing when we go to do like the 18-hole videos. Like, there's a few different cameramen that we use, and when I go with Pat's like the OG best cameraman ever, but he lives in England, I live in Spain. And so when I'm with him, I can just trust him 100%. But like when we're with like other people, what happens is I'm thinking like, okay, like are the mics linked up? Is the audio synced? Have they got enough memory? Are they filming in the right frame rate? And it's just a mental overload. And then the second thing is it's just we have had across the whole of Europe, in the United Kingdom, and in Spain. I don't know about the rest of the places, but just the worst winter ever. So from like November until now, it's been absolutely terrible. Even in Spain, right? Which you think nice people come to Spain to like escape the rain, escape the terrible weather, come play some nice golf. In the northeast of Spain, which is where I am, horrible. I think for like a month straight, it rained. It rained so hard, and there was also days, right, where you'd get this like emergency like bleep on your phone, like dee dee dee, and what it would be is the government shutting down, saying like no one's allowed outside today because it's like the storm's too crazy. So there's been like a few days where you're not even legally allowed to go outside. So it's been crazy, and the reason why I'm saying that is because like I haven't been able to go out and do 18 holes a lot until recently. I'd say the last week and a half we've been like in the clear, but from the 1st of November until a week and a half ago, it's been almost impossible to play 18 holes like anywhere across the two places in Europe that I'm playing. It's been so hard. Does YouTube pay you, or do you have another job? YouTube does pay, but not very much. Well, not that it doesn't pay much, but for the size of the channel that I have, it doesn't pay a lot at all. So it would like literally only cover like a few rounds of golf and a few golf balls. But I do have another job, yeah. So I work full time. I work in performance marketing, and yeah, I work full time there to fund all of this because golf is just it's so expensive, and like this challenge, I knew it was going to be expensive, but then when you're playing every day, you start to realize it because then like just the sheer number of like balls, gloves, tees, tee times, buggies, and because I'm working, I'm trying to do things fast, right? So I want to be, if I play 9 holes or 18 holes, I kind of want to do it as fast as possible. So I'm always getting buggies, and it's just it is burning a hole in the pocket I've spent, and getting the cameraman. Sometimes I get help with editing the videos as well, and it's just it's very 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 expensive. Honestly, I think when the challenge is over, you will be able to make better content. The pressure of progressing and posting this much seems stressful. Yeah, I mean, I would completely agree. I've genuinely been debating, do I stop posting every day and just post 3 times a week or something like that, just because I think the stress of having to make a video every day it's insane, and it's having an impact on the quality of the video. Because the thing is, like, basically any creator that you see that's doing a challenge or where they post daily, they will batch the videos. So they will make like 20 videos in one day and then just post them over that. Like, it might take them 3 days straight to make those 20 videos. um but the pressure's not there doing it every single day. The problem with this is that like I wake up and I'm like, right, here's my to-do list that's like 6 miles long that I need to get done today with work. Here's all the training that I need to do. And then I have to like plan and script a video, because the problem is nowadays with short form content, you have to make it like really snappy and straight to the point. So with this live session, right, I can just, ramble and just talk as much as I like and talk how I talk. But with the with the shorts, and there's like I've seen the data in all the videos. It's like the shorter and the more concise the sentences, the better the video performs. If there's crazy stuff happening, like me starting in the sea or under a swimming pool, like the videos just go crazy, right? So if I was just to like go down the golf club with my phone and say, "Hey, this is Dave, whatever, I'm doing this," the videos just wouldn't perform at all. So it's like I'm constantly stressing about what to make content wise. Like, how can I make this interesting? How can I, like, bring a little light to someone's day of like, oh, that was a really cool video, or like, oh, I really enjoyed that, or oh, I really learned something from that video. So it's like, it is that, but at the same time, I do enjoy it as well. So it's not like, I don't want to say that like, oh, it's this huge burden, I hate it. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, I do enjoy it. It is, it is a creative outlet for me, just like trying different ideas. And we've got a little team working on this, and we're always like bouncing ideas around and trying new things. And it's a really exciting journey. And I hope that everybody watching this is enjoying it and wants to continue along the journey. But yeah, I think I think it's going very well. I'm happy where it's going. The only thing is with YouTube lives, it's this is the first ever one we've done, but it's really hard to know like how to promote the live stream like on platform and cross platform. I guess it's just about getting the reps in, right? Um, but yeah, a question coming in now: have you ever tried content creators to get larger content creators to collaborate with you and try and grow the channel? Yeah, so I did this once, but only once. And I reached out to Bogey Golf, and I paid for him to fly to Spain where I am, and we played a match, me and my brother. Which I would definitely do. Like, if there's ever like, obviously there's levels to this stuff. So like, I wouldn't be able to afford Rick Shields, for example, and Rick Shields is not going to come on this channel because it's just not worth his time. But if you ever see content creators that are like, two, three, four times the size of this channel, and you think they would be great, like, let me know. Like, comment in the videos, like, send me DMs, because I'm always like looking to get into it. The reason why I'm recording this and posting to YouTube and essentially becoming a golf YouTuber is because I just want more people to play golf with. Like, I want to have a cool purpose in the golf world and go around playing these cool like collaborations and match up with different people, meeting different people from all over the place. And I feel like that will be fantastic. It has been a bit hard at the moment because I've restricted location wise, just because my baby's so young that I don't want to be away. But now she's reaching the age where if I go away for like 2-3 days, it's not going to be an issue. We just hired a nanny as well, so it means that I got a bit more flexibility to be like, if somebody was like, hey, come to Scotland and do this collaboration video, I'd be like, yeah, sure. So I could like fly out, spend one night away, do the round, one night recovery, fly home. Which I'm looking forward to be honest. Like, this is the reason why I started the golf channel, is to like get into the world of YouTube golf and just contribute to it and have some good rounds and like meet some cool people like that. I think that would be great. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Let me. One more. I think you could use questions like the ones from this live to make some shorts, but people may want to know some more details about your progress. That's very true. That is very true. And I think I forget as well, like, how important the personal side of it is, of the journey, and that people are genuinely interested in what's going on, not just like the actual score of the golf. So how I'm training, how my sessions with the coaches went, how sometimes life gets in the way. And this is what I've been looking to share more, but it's just I'm scared of crossing that boundary of like sharing a bit too much and not having it dedicated enough about golf. Like, for example, in about a month's time, I've got a work trip, and I'm flying to America. And what I'm debating doing is like, okay, do I share parts of that journey? It's like, okay, like, because there's going to be 1 or 2 days where I won't be able to play golf because the flight is like 12 hours, right? But will I be able to take, like, I've got this like little fold up putter and stuff like that. Could I make like a cool video on like, playing golf in the airport? Playing golf in the airport, or like how I, continue to train golf throughout my journey, like throughout a large travel. So it'd be like, my mental practices, my yoga, like it'll be like body weight workouts and things like this. Like, do you think that would be interesting to share, or do you think I should just keep it like more golf related? Because I'm scared of going too off topic, but I think there's a lot of things outside of the world of golf that help the world, that help you on the golf course. And as well, let me know if there's like I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do more lives like this. I want to make it like a weekly thing. But what I would like to know is like, what would you want to see in these lives? Like, I didn't have much time. Like, I've got the basis of the live and the live stream set up right now, but it would be great to know like, what do you want to see? Like, is like, do you want data on the screen, like stats, green and regs, average putts, things like this? Do you want to see graphs of like changing over time? Like, what would you like to know? Also, we have a podcast as well where me and my brother just basically talk about my progress, and we talk about funny things that have happened. We talk about things that I've learned. Would that be decent live, or would that be? Is it best kept as a podcast? Yeah, that's very true. What's the worst that can happen? Try it out and people and see how people react to it. That is very true. That's very true. I think I got into this weird state of where at the start I had nothing to lose, right? Zero followers, none. Um, and then I was just posting whatever I felt was like funny and cool. But now this, I think we're close to 40,000 or more than 40,000 across all the platforms. And now I just feel a bit of a pressure, like, oh, this has to be a good video. And like now we're talking to sponsors, and we're working with Vice Golf, and there's some other brands that we're like doing deals with as well for the future. And it's like, oh no, like if I post this video, which is kind of an experiment, and it doesn't do well, they're gonna see this, and then maybe they won't want to work with us. And it's just the business side of the content is starting to creep into it. But I think I just need to get out of my own head and just get into that flow again of just like, I think this is going to be a cool video. I'm going to make it. But yeah, awesome. I think I'm going to wrap up this live session now. Going for about 45 minutes. But yeah, and if you ever want to see anything as well, comment on the videos. Just what you want to see in live sessions, what you want to see in videos. If there's any stats that I've missed, any information that you want to know about the challenge, let me know as well. I'm going to be doing. I've actually purchased this. This is a Starlink, right? So we're going to be able to go around, and I've got the biggest power bank. Oh my god, it's heavy. Oh, this thing right here, right? This is so ridiculously heavy, but this can charge the cameras and the Starlink for about 8 hours. So what we're going to do is I'm taking these. We're going to strap that Starlink to the roof of a golf cart, and we're going to try and do a 9 holes live. We'll test it in line, and if it works out, then we'll do 18. I'm going to try and do that tomorrow, but it looks like it's going to rain, and with the cameras and stuff, yeah, that's not going to be great. But yeah, so you need to do crazy things to attract eyes. 24 hours of training at 24 handicap or something. I know it's silly, but YouTube loves that stuff. That's very true. Like I genuinely thought of doing like a challenge where I was like, I can't leave the golf club until I hit a par on every hole. And then obviously like when it gets dark, I can't play golf because there's no lights here. So it's just like me camping at the at the golf course, and doing things like that. But you are right, like they love like there's like the 10x rule, right? So if you think of something, just like how could you make it as extreme as possible, and that would be really cool. Trying something like that, training for 24 hours, that would be yeah, that I'd have to. I genuinely want to do that. Genuinely want to do that. I just have to think like, how could I do the training regime as something that doesn't murder my back? Because training golf for that long is going to kill me, and then I wouldn't be able to continue with the challenge. But that's a fantastic idea, by the way. I definitely need to try something like that. Or maybe like at the golf course for 24 hours, like yeah, these crazy things like this. Because it could be, you could try that as a live stream, try it as a short, try it as a long video. Yeah, honestly, loved it. Keep these ideas flowing because I'm definitely gonna do them. Like I will 100% try them. But yeah, I'm gonna say well actually I'm gonna show you one or two more shots actually, because like from today, let's have a look at the oh yeah, okay, and we've got, so basically what's happened here, right? This drive, my driving today was fantastic, if I say so myself. But I got so confident after that last hole. So the hole that I showed you at the start of this live, where I basically smashed a drive like 280 meters, I don't know, like 300 yards almost. And then I chipped it over, made the putt of a lifetime for a birdie. Now, this is right after this. Like, my confidence is sky high, and I'm trying to smash the living daylights out of that ball. If you see what's wrong, let me know. But this, I put so much effort into hitting this ball, and I hooked the hell out of it. This went flying left. I was worried for the house is like over here on the left hand side, or this side. Um, and I was so worried it was going to enter. Like they're just not in play ever. Those houses ever. But with a hook like this, I was worried. Unfortunately, it didn't go there. But yeah, take a look at this. Lining up, feeling confident. I even came out left. I wonder where. Like I feel like I hooked and pulled it. So we're going high. I feel like that's an okay position. Like it's not. I'm not outrageously out of position there. I'm aiming sort of center. If anything, I'm aiming a little bit right, is what it feels like with my feet position. And then if I just play it, drop it through. But I wonder if I can play this like a lower speed, 2.25. I think I'm aiming straight. Pullback's okay. I think I just pulled it, and it feels like I've contacted like the. Yeah, I don't know, but that is what happens when you get way too confident at golf. Like I just need that level. There's that level of like being in the zone and being happy and being good, but yeah, I kind of messed that one up there. um, so look, I think seeing stats would be interesting. Do you work on course management? Yeah, so I do work on course management, but not as much. Like literally not as much. So having said that, swing is my fault. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. That's who I was playing golf with today, and I was thinking he was like, "Yeah, you smash this down." No, no. He told me he was like, "Oh, you've had the drive of your life. Now you're gonna hook it into those trees over there, and hook it into those trees is exactly what I did." Looks like at the very last moment you lean left. Yeah, maybe I. So if I'm leaning left, maybe I'm throwing the right shoulder over a little bit more. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, Javi, definitely your fault. He said you've had the drive of your life. Now you're gonna hook it left, and hook it left is exactly what I did. He planted the seed in my mind. Inception, literally inception. Oh damn, we've had our first ever. Is that a super chat? That's insane. Wow, thank you very, very, very much. You are the first person ever on this channel. Um, Caleb sells golf. Am I saying that right? But yeah, thank you so much. That is awesome. Just started making golf content. Your daily videos keep me inspired and motivated. Ah, thanks. That is that's nice to hear. That's put a smile on my face. That has put a smile on my face. Yeah, thank you, man. Like if there's uh, if you need any tips or anything like that on making content, I mean, I'm not the, not pretending to be like the king of content or anything like that, but like I can share with you what's worked and what hasn't worked. Follow me on one of the platforms where you can DM like Instagram or Twitter, and I'll be happy to share like what's worked and what, more importantly, what hasn't worked. Because like looking at the data, it's easy to see what works and try and replicate stuff, but it's nice to see what doesn't work as well. So I can share all that kind of stuff with you. Like I'm not going to gatekeep anything. If I've got any like ideas that I think will do well, I'll share them with you. There's this one format though. I tell you what, you should definitely try. YouTube by far on short form, the best thing, the best performing video is a 9-second video with a transition at 4 seconds and put text over the top of it. So this video got like 700,000 views on my channel, and it's basically I just put exactly what I was trying to do at the top. It is the text, and so it was like a line or two, and then like 1.5 seconds later, another line pops up to like follow up and keep people interested. And then there's two scenes. It's basically me hitting a drive, and then it's me hitting an iron, and it's the drive shot and then transition. So genuinely try that, because I've told all of my like golf content creator friends to try this and see if it works. Every time I post that video, it'll be like #1 of the past 10 things. It will get somewhere between like 30 and 700,000 views on short forms. It's like absolutely crazy how effective that is. It's annoying because as a like I want to be super creative and like create these cool, entertaining, and like, add a little something to your day after watching it. But these ones on YouTube right now are just so just so effective. I'll send it was probably, I reckon, the one I'm on about is about 33 days ago, because it's just slipped out of my thing. And yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's really good. It's really good. The other thing is like there's the purple cow effect is what they call it. So it's basically that like you want to open with something crazy and out of place. So that's why like the videos where I'm like, stood in the sea taking a golf shot or something like that, they tend to do really well. But yeah, message me on the platforms. I'll be like, definitely willing to help you out. Thank you so much for being the first the first ever super chat. That is amazing. Wasn't expecting that today. That's so cool. Thank you very much. Probably a good time for me to shill as well. Like I'm gonna be doing, or we have a YouTube membership, so you can click like the little join. It should be in the description of this video. But there's two ways that you can support the channel. There's either just like one like small support package, or there's you can join the membership package. And basically, what that is I'm going to be posting extra content there, and this is the type of content which I'm not going to be making like over the top dramatic stuff with the purple cow effect that I just talked about. This is just going to be me straight to the point, talking about the data, the best reels. It's going to be more of me just like picking up and telling you exactly what happened, what's working for me, what isn't working for me, and sharing all my advice. And I can get like a little bit more personal there, just because with posting to the daily videos to like the main channel, it's kind of I do have to try to my hardest to make them perform and like trying to play the algorithm a little bit, just so it boosts the channel. I get like towards my goal. It helps with revenue, all these kind of things. But inside the membership is going to be way more personal, way more straight to the point about the information, and I can get in like, well, maybe not even more straight to the point, but I can just go more into depth of what's happening, and that's going to be in there. There'll be extra episodes of podcasts, extra episodes of everything really. But yeah, dudes, that was, yeah, thank you so much everybody for joining today. Thank you so much for like sharing your evening with me. This has been for my first live stream ever. This has been awesome. It's been really good, really good. I'm gonna try and like make the setup better, make the videos better. Just gonna try and make everything better, right? In any way you think that I could, that would be yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much again, and I'll open up for like a few more questions if you want to. Just like one or two more questions before I jump off. But yeah, thanks guys. Keep it up, have fun. Don't forget to give your family some love. I'm rooting for you. Thank you so much, John. Yeah, I really like it as well that like the people like have in mind for the family. It just makes me feel nice. Makes me feel like the world's a good place and that we're all out to support each other. I'm about to go now, do the baby duties, spend a little bit of time with my loved ones before I start editing today's video properly at like 11 o'clock at night, and then it will be out at like midnight as it always is. But yeah, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this live stream. Thank you so much, guys. I will catch you. Yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.